Well, I like this comment. Chop chop, it's time to roll the opening theme song. I guess. Oh shoot, hold on. There it is. That was my fault.
Not professionalism, man. Holy cow.
Wow, is that from your side?
No, maybe hers.
This is kind of what happens.
No, let me see here. I want to see where I'm hearing it from. Hold on. I'm going to remove it visually just to see where that back noise is coming from. Hold on. Hey, Bob,
it's her end. I can hear you fine. It's her end.
Oh, I guess it's your end.
It's me?
I'm going to remove you right here. Yeah, if I remove you, let's see. Yeah.
You had a reminder and it went on. That's what it was. Sorry about that.
No,
it happens on every show. We always got to find out what's going on. Rock and roll, baby. We got some great people in the chat already. I love these people. We got. We'll talk about your outfit in a second. We got Queens of Soul here. We got Super Luxar here. Flat Accord Music. Love the guy. He does our ending song for every show. He made the song for us. I love the guy. Michael Healy, our good friend.
He's my good friend too.
Yep, is here. Nachamok 2000. Man, oh yeah, he's one of my newer people that's watching our show. So welcome aboard. I love you, man. North Star's here. Informally hip. Oh, I already said your name, but I said your name again. Scott Marin, Rethink, Rick Swain. What's this? I'm not great. Oh, Rick, come on, Rick, you're great.
You're a wonderful person.
Everybody who watched our horror talk show yesterday, I want to thank you guys for joining us on that talk show. That was a fantastic show yesterday. I mean, did you get that email that one of our listeners said you could watch one of these movies on YouTube, a full movie?
Oh.
Yes, I sent it to you. Let me see if I can find it. Our good friend Sharpticon said you could watch this full movie, the one that's called Behind the Mask, The Rise of Vernon.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. So okay. So here we go. So Bob, what's up? I love your little outfit. Oh, first of all, hold on. I apologize. We got a great guest today, Supernatural Live. Her name is Karen. She's going to be our guest today. We're going to be talking about RH Blood in a little bit. But I got to find out what happened to you in UK. Did they change you?
Undercover, man.
You're undercover?
I'm working with MI5s. I'm doing anthropology on the Mandela effect, the mask wearing. I'm out trying to encourage to wear the mask. I'm like 6 fucking feet. Wear your mask, because I don't want to deal with nobody. So if you're promoting don't wear a mask, fuck you. In England, wear your mask. So anyway, been out patrolling. I've been out hitting some bars and stuff, hitting some taverns. That's about it. I mean, this place is famous for a lot of good taverns, a lot of good places. I got to get into everywhere. So I got to fit in like a local. I got to really man up in this place. This place is no fucking joke. They are tough here. So I really got to man up here. I was in the States. Like being in the States, we had a lot of passive people, a lot of vagina men, been dealing with a lot of just flat out manginas. So I'm back in England. I'm with the tough fucking crowd. So I've been dealing with them, learning a lot of stuff, doing a lot of anthropology. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, love it.
Moving forward, man. Moving forward. We get fucking strong. We get down. We get the fuck back up again.
You kind of left at a good time, because in Portland and now maybe Seattle, they got the military troops there in Portland. Good. And now apparently the Seattle's they had some federal agents just flew in. because
Good.
of all the extra violence to the buildings are happening again.
They're not wearing their masks. We need to bring in troops. People need to be 6 feet apart and wear your fucking mask. If they don't follow the rules, they're not compliant. We need the military.
No. This ain't about the complaints. This has nothing to do about masks.
They can buy our masks. Don't promote our masks. They can buy our masks.
These are the people who are actually destroying the buildings.
They're destroying the buildings. Yeah, they take their masks off and then they spray paint everything.
Yeah,
and if I was spray painting, I'd wear a mask. You should wear a mask when you spray paint. You're gonna breathe in the fumes.
Yeah, my wife actually works at one of those buildings that they've been destroying. I dropped her off this morning.
I think it's retro causality. Retro causality, dude.
Yeah, they actually have to go into. She has to go into the garage now. She can't even go into the front of the building. It's pretty messed up.
It's bad. These anti-mask people are fucking shit up. They're spray painting walls. It's retro causality. This is everything. It's the Mandela effect, man. This is bad. Everything's gone upside down. We're in an upside down world when people need to mellow out. Just put on your, be compliant, stupids. It's easy. I walked the dog today. It was easy. There was today's mask day. So today's the 24th. Today, it's the second round. They have to wear masks inside of stores. So I wanted to end bars and pubs and all that. I wanted to go see for myself. Some people are not compliant, and that's bullshit. Some people are compliant. They're wearing their face shield. That's even better. If you got a face shield, put that on. I don't want to smell your breath. So it's cool. Ugly people, I don't want to see ugly people no more. I'm beautiful, man. I don't want to see ugly people. Cover your face. Please cover your face. I'm just saying right now, Eric, put the mask up for sale again. Promote the masks, man.
Oh, the beautiful Walking Dead mask. Hey, those are good-looking masks.
They're good-looking masks. You guys should start wearing them. Yeah.
But before we talking to RH, I was actually, she made a 3-minute video, and I was watching your video on the sun with the like the green thing here. I'll just play it and we'll talk through it.
Sure.
It was kind of interesting. Let me see here. Let me hit play. Bob, guys, can you see it? Can you all see it?
Yes.
Okay. Let's check. This is a very interesting video. Here we go. Let me hit play. Where was it? Now, first of all, that's kind of interesting. There was a purple little, like, sunball. It was like floating to the left. And you were just looking at it one day just for the heck of it, and you just saw it?
I filmed the sky all the time. I started watching about 2 years ago because I saw some crazy stuff, and I've got quite a bit of film of crazy things.
Well, Eric, that's a reflection on the lens because I get that too.
Oh, that is a lens flare, the blue one that you're seeing there. And if you make it bigger, you'll see it's like a golf ball, and it has all of these dots. That's supposed to be the reflection of what the sun is. And that's what it's supposed to look like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, actually correct. Yes. It's a reflection of this. Oh, you're using that. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're looking at the ball as a reflection. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a reflection. But that isn't what I caught.
Oh.
And that is really interesting because not everybody does even get that ball reflection. And that's the surface of whatever's there. My hypothesis about what we're seeing is not really the sun. We're seeing a sun simulator.
Oh, yeah.
And I do have a couple of videos that go into the tech that they actually are using from a German company. And I'm talking about here, this is what you usually get with the sun simulator. You get this pedal. But right now, the sun isn't doing that. For the last week, it's different. It looks completely different than what you're seeing.
It's not my sun, I'll tell you that. I mean,
that's what it looks like right now.
My sun was yellow. We're from the California Central Valley agriculture. Bright yellow, hot sun. That's a freaking thing. I don't know what it is. Alien spaceship simulator. It's not real. I'll tell you that. I'll give you that.
And look how interesting. Look how powerful this one beam is. It's like this one beam is going through stronger than anything else around the sun.
That's all it does right now. You see these beams. I've got quite a bit of film. But what you're going to see in this picture, why I did that, is there's some flashing lights around the sun, big,
Okay.
and because I've gotten these things before, they look like octagons, and they've got circle inside circle. It's actually my main. I've got a picture of it on my main YouTube channel. That's my, and you see that,
Okay.
and that's what you're going to see if you look through here.
Cool. Very good. Let's get some evidence on that damn thing. It's not our sun, I'll tell you that. 2016. What the hell is this? What is it? I can look at it with my eyes. I can look at the sun. It's like, you're not supposed to stare at the sun. Why not? I can look at it.
It's just that one beam of light, just so interesting to me. I don't know why. It's just like, why is that one so strong? It's like a flashlight, you know?
I saw a flash. You remember the flash? The flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flashes.
So what do you?
Yes. Yeah. You're right. You
Yeah.
can see the flashes. That's why.
And there's an object too. She points an arrow at it.
Yeah. And I do really slow it down so you can see it better.
But I caught something. So please leave your ideas, what you think it might be, what you think possibly is.
Yeah. Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
No, that's cool because it proves to me that, you know, you
Oh yeah.
you're doing your research.
I saw that. You saw that round object form? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
And it forms real quick. Like a second.
Right there.
Yeah, like a second.
And there is one on the other side of it as well. I didn't point out in there.
Well, strategically, it's a great place to hide. You want the sun to your back.
What do you think it is? What do you think I caught?
Interdimensionals in this place, there's a lot of it going on. I'm gonna just call it. I can only call it from what I can experience, and if I've experienced interdimensionals and they're freaking interdimensionals coming out of it, maybe coming out of it. Now remember, we're only seeing what our brains perceive.
Past, how do you cure cancer? That one as well. I caught that about a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, and I think that's an angel in the sky.
Okay.
If you want to play that one.
Yeah. At this point, yes.
I don't know why it is that I'm able to pick these things up, but it's right there. No, you're gone past. Go down. I don't know if go the other way.
Oh.
The other way. Okay. So right here it says how not to cure cancer. It's right beside that one. The red one, and then it's black.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Not that one. You don't want. You want the next one with the funny looking thing. Yeah, that's it.
I volunteered at a cancer care. I used to volunteer there.
What's that, Bob?
I said I volunteered at a cancer care. Remember? So, and our brother had cancer. Our older brother had cancer on his head. He had his ass cheek put on his head. Our dead gay brother. It was bad.
Oh, that's not it. No, go back.
It's a dog.
That's
it's
not
the
it.
dog in red.
Not that
It's
one. This the one that's black that just has a half of. Yeah, that's it. That one. Yeah.
Look. That one.
You just go past mine. Okay.
This was blinking in my sky last night at 4 a.m.
Oh,
wow.
Oh. It looks.
And it changes shape.
Rectangle, man. Check that out.
And you were just up that night? I mean, you were just up and...
Yeah, I have my camera set in a place where I can, if the sky is clear, I'm out. And I'm looking as much as I can because it's clouded most of the time. because I've caught so many strange things. I was seeing this with my eyes, and I was telling people, and they wouldn't believe me what I was catching. So I got my camera and I started filming it, and I got quite a bit of film, and I put on my YouTube channel of.
Nice
It
catch.
looks like it's flying. Its wings are moving in the back. I don't know what it is, but
it looks like a little ball right there, a half ball to the left.
And it has red flashes. I mean, this is the cool thing. Okay, we'll have a sync. Okay, I'm gonna race negative also. So last night I come outside for a late night walk. There's 2 grand stars, one, or I don't know what the fuck they are, over here, bright as shit. And then there was one that's blinking like this one, but it had red. It had red coming through it too. There was a little bit every once in a while it'd be red. I said, "What the? No, man, that's not correct." Yours had red coming through it.
yeah.
So
this one.
This is a crazy trail.
It's like there's a rip in the sky right there.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard that theory before, that they're trying to actually cover it up, cover up this shadow, but
I've seen them make their lines and it has dispersed a haze in the sky, and to take a guess, I would say, yeah, they were covering something, or I don't think government. I'm not going to say, I don't give the government any credit. So that's a good one. That's a good one. My guess, and I'm only me, and don't take this to the bank, I think that's oxygen, by the way. And that's a hydrogen. I think it's oxygen because I worked at a museum of flight. I know about combustions. I know about hydrogen, and the exhaust from hydrogen is a white cloud of pure, it's water vapor. It's oxygen and water vapor. It's white. It's the same consistent and same color from what I saw. Only my eye. So that's what I guess. It's oxygen. Since we have 76% nitrogen and we used to have like 70% oxygen, we're low on oxygen, and oxygen helps. Oxygen does everything. It helps your body. It heals you. It heals you and it heals you. So if I were to be an honest, good being, I would pump oxygen in this freaking bowl, this fish bowl, as much as I can. So I'm guessing there's a good guy pumping oxygen.
That, aren't you, right now? Because we are seeing everything bloom more than ever. Like it's so much greener where we are. I don't know what this is, to be honest. Probably just showing like all the chemtrails, because I get a lot where I am.
I call them oxygen trails. It's not killing nothing. Things are growing. I healed. So I'm going to call it a good thing. I had cirrhosis of the liver. It's gone. My spine was crushed in multiple discs. Eric remembers I had a little walker thing. It's gone. I'm healed. I'm calling that oxygen. Lots of it. So I'm feeling.
I guess your point of view. If you wanna think that it is a positive thing, maybe it will turn into that.
I think it's oxygen.
What I like, what you do is, I know, guys, I know this is a TV show, but there's a TV show called Paranormal Caught on Camera, where people are just filming, taking pictures of things, and somehow it just happens. It's not like you're forcing it to happen. It just happens on it. And I like how you're doing your cameras, you're shooting the sky, and it just happens when it happens. You're not, I could tell, some people say I take pictures and I mold them together into thumbnails. My pictures are real. I don't know what people are talking about. so I can tell fake.
Real.
And what I like about yours is everything you're taking, there's no evidence of you modifying it. You're changing it. Everything that I see here is 100% real.
Yeah. And you're debating on it, which is what we're supposed to do.
And I don't know what I'm catching. I just know that I'm catching things that are really bizarre.
Yeah. No, remember.
But I think it's because I'm looking. And I think that if people start looking, they're going to catch more. But I don't know. I kind of get a feeling to go out and take a picture and start filming. And most of the time when I get that feeling, I catch something. So I don't know if it's
because you've got copper in your blood.
Negative thing,
Yeah. May I ask you, do you have like a main goal for your channel for the people who are watching you, maybe for the first time, hearing you for the first time? Are you looking for, I don't know, like evidence of paranormal kind of stuff? Are you effects? What do you have a main goal for your channel?
You know, when I first started this channel, I started it, I guess about 2.5 years ago. And it was because of RH negative. I called it RH negative, my super paranormal life. Like, it was just crazy long.
Nice.
And I started realizing, well, I didn't really want to talk only about that. I wanted to talk about so much more because there are so many subjects. So it was really just my dumping ground of all the research that I do, all the things that I'm interested in. And it's kind of a blog, because as I started this, I progressed and woken up, right? I've just like everybody else has, I've been waking up. So you'll see, if you go back into my older videos, I may have had a different idea of what I was seeing, but it's just more to let people know what I'm up, what I'm doing and what I'm seeing.
No, I like it.
Data.
I mean, first of all, every show kind of molds into something else that you started with, Yeah. I started this channel mostly on just paranormal ghost stuff, and it just kind of merged. And Bob, did a lot of Mandela effects, so we just kind of merge. We do more Mandela effects maybe type shows, but I love everything. Like, here it is, like you're saying, your RH blood. Now, Bob loves talking about RH blood because it's so interesting, and it is interesting because I found my old military card.
Yes, what does it say?
Now, on the back of the card, it tells you my blood type. Now I was looking at it to see if it changed. It still says all positive. Now, of course, this was a military card back in 1997 when I was in the military during the first Gulf War stuff. Now, I was trying to find, like, I did have blood work like last year. I was trying to find maybe it changed because, like you said yourself that some people's blood has changed. Now, let me ask, first of all, let me ask you guys this, because both of you have done research on RH negative, and maybe this is the first time for people. Holy shit, Jason Walker, is that our buddy Jason Walker?
Jason Walker's in there.
Hey, Jason Walker, are you our buddy from Kerman, California? Are you that Jason Walker? You are, man. Oh, I'm so happy to see you here. Now, RH negative, RH positive. Okay, first of all, what's the difference between the two bloods? I mean, the basic, what is the difference? Bob, I'll start with you. Maybe she can put in her 2 cents.
I'm going to do it in a layman's terms, and she can probably do it because she's a gal. Gals, because they got to have babies, so they know a lot more when it comes to describing this. And I'm not a gal. Believe me, I got a penis. So the way to think about it is, I always think of a Volkswagen. So an RH negative blood cell is a Volkswagen, and the passengers ride inside the Volkswagen. So you have all your good stuff, all the stuff that you need to live is inside the Volkswagen. Like, a Volkswagen is all packed into one cell, man. There's nothing hanging on the fucking sides of this Volkswagen. Everything's inside this cell. That's an RH negative. That means negative on the outside. No, nothing there. Nobody on the outside of that cell. Nothing. Everything that you need to live, it carries, because it's like a car. It literally, your blood cell is a car that carries valuable things up around you into your brain, into your heart. It's a passenger vehicle, carries the goodies to the good spots of your body. Now, an RH positive is like a pickup truck, and it's a big, huge bed truck, and all the goodies that you need is live and survive are on the outside of your truck. Everything's on the outside. It's outside of the cell. Everything is carried and stored on the outside, not on the inside. On the outside, which does make it vulnerable to lots of bad things that like to take things from the back of the truck. So that's why a lot of RH positives get sick, because a lot of shit gets taken from their truck, from their blood cells. Negatives, we got a big ass Volkswagen, and nobody's getting inside of that Volkswagen without a fight. So you got to fight when our cells are thicker, stronger. That's a badass Volkswagen. So that's why a lot of RH negatives don't get sick. It don't get viral. They got to get inside.
They're
And there's nothing to take on the outside. So the RH, again, back to RH positive, a lot of the materials that you need to live, your nourishments, all the fun stuff that you need is carried to the valuable parts of your body. Your organs need everything. So it's the transport. Your blood is simply transport. Your blood cells are transporting all the things that you need for your body to every organ and right down to your skin, your eyes, your brain, everything. So that's kind of how the negative and the positive work in layman's terms. And she'll tell you maybe a little bit better of what the good stuff is.
Actually, that was really, really good. I love the way you describe things. Did you say you're RH negative?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. It's because people who are usually are creative, but well, when that was the thing that I was really wanting to get to know what it was, because like a little bit of background, as you saw on my YouTube channel, that I have a lot of different interests, and that's kind of typical for an RH negative. We're kind of like that, and I started looking at the RH negative on Facebook, and I joined every single because I am an odd duck. I don't fit in with most people. And most people don't understand me. And I've had a lot of supernatural stuff. That's my channel, right? I had guardian angels that I saw when I was growing up. And then later, things that weren't guarding me, that were much more menacing and stuff. So I did.
Your eyes change color?
No, my eyes change. Well, RH negatives mostly do because I have a green, blue, and they go to hazel. They change. It depends on my mood. It's just the receptors in your eyes. Eyes with RH negative are different. The shape, mine are, and that's why I see spirits. I can see different things.
It says might change in 2012 from B- to B+.
And that can happen too. That's what my research looked into. So let me just go into a little bit more about how it is. This is my theory. And other people too, because I went off of their research, and then I went to Extreme Reality Check. I don't know if you know her, Jen. She's another RH negative, and she's done a lot of research in this. So then I went and I just tried to confirm her research. And what her research was showing is, like you said, the red blood cell is O negative. That's the red blood cell. That's everybody. Every human being has the same red blood cell. And what it is just attachments, like you were saying, like what you were. But her line of thinking is, so actually, and I believe this, everyone, if you go back to the blood, you will find that everybody carries the gene of the RH negative. They have half RH negative and half the other. My theory is that is our natural state. We are all Rh negative, but we have something that's been put there that has been a drainer, that is a technology in a sort. So that when you look into it, you will find like the proteins and the enzymes, the ones that are on the positive actually drain you like a battery. Yeah, so the point that you were talking about, that they're more vulnerable, that's where you get people that are Rh negative. I'm 61 years old. I'm just, to let you know.
Yeah, you do not look 61.
This is a typical
you don't look 61. You're lying.
No,
I know you like that.
1959.
Holy sheep shit. Wow, you don't look.
That's a typical thing for Rh negatives because we don't have that drain on our battery. And so Jen, and I would like guys, I'll put it into this later on, her on the Rh negative. So you can go if you're really more interested into it and find out about what those proteins that are on the blood do to you. And my research went a little bit further. And like I said, we are all, when it comes right down to it, we all are Rh negative, but something happened.
Vocal cords sound like your vocal cords have not aged. You have a young vocal. No, I'm serious. Your vocal cords sound. You could. I've talked to 60-year-olds. We've all talked to 61-year-old ladies. No offense to ladies, hello, you know, they sound like they're 60. They got the, you don't sound 61 years old. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I get about in my 40s. People think I'm in my 40s, and I have a granddaughter that is 22, and I have a daughter that's 26. So they're pretty much sisters. So that was,
honestly, I really thought you were. I thought you were my age. I'm 47. I wouldn't even thought you were 60 at all. Wow.
Your hair's still thick. Your hair's thick. Everything's thick. You got it all. You still got it.
You guys got
You can go out to the clubs, man. You can go roll a young dude.
And my husband is 5 years younger than me. So, and he's starting to look older than me now. Poor guy.
Nice job.
So that is my basics, that I believe that we all are RH negative, but we have something that is sitting on top of it that drains us. But what happens to people, and it had to have been done generational. It's something that got put on us generational back. Even your A and your B are all they're the same thing. Everybody should be O, and that's where the research that I looked into, where they're now taking blood that is any kind, and they're using an enzyme, they're taking it out and they're making it all into O, so it's a universal blood giver.
Yeah.
As you know, O can give it to almost every single human being. There's a few rare blood types, right? But O can give it to everybody, but nobody can give it to O unless they're O negative, because they are that much changed and mutated from the original.
You'll die.
And you'll die. And that's where I believe that people who, like myself, or I see spirits, or I have electrical stuff that is crazy about me. Like I can turn on the light by just putting my hand near it, or I blew up a TV once, you know? You too, right? So we do have all of these strange things. But for me, what they did to bring down my gifts is, when I was about 12 years old, they put in all of the mercury fillings all over my mouth. Like they carved out my teeth and they put in mercury. And immediately my eyesight, I had to wear glasses within a couple of months from that. And I've suffered from health issues ever since. Although every lab test always comes fine, because I have an incredible immune system that most people, but what they do to, like, it's almost like a branding, you know, they couldn't get the telomeres on their blood to change them like they have everyone else. And I think that's what they're going to be doing with this shot. It's going to work with those people a lot. It's going to help with the change that they already have. But I do believe that you can take it off.
Wow. Nice job.
That's it.
I got to show this. Bob earlier sent me some like pictures of the show of our negative president. And so I clicked on his link, and I thought this one was hilarious.
Yeah.
It wasn't the RH part, but I was looking at President George Washington.
Check it out.
Of all the people who he's related to. And I'm like, President Bush is related to Tom Hanks, Abraham Lincoln, Madonna,
Told you so. Tom Hanks told you so. And they're using his RNA in the vaccine. He's using his RNA, his RH negative RNA in his vaccine.
Well, I'm not sure if they are RH negative, because everybody that a matter of fact, I think is this one that you've got here? It looks like you've got John F. Kennedy's card that he had, and it shows that he was O positive. And he's one of the ones that they all say that he was. I think my personal opinion is that the reason why you're hearing so much about RH negative, people think we're lizards and they think that we are aliens and, you know, all of the crazy stuff. But it's promoted by History Channel with ancient aliens. And who owns ancient aliens, and why would they want to say that they are all of these things if they really were that? Because we can't get a hold of them. We know what they're doing, right? So everybody would love to get a hold of them, but they can get a hold of us. They can get a hold of the average RH negative. So what's up with that? Could it have to do we were ones that they could get rid of? And so now
they've been doing it forever.
You're right. You know, we don't know because they don't have our doctors. They have their own medical systems completely. Matter of fact, I heard they even have their own dentists. You know, they may not even be positive or negative. They may be something different altogether. And that's a whole other research that I started to do.
Nice.
I don't know if I can share my screen, but I wanted to show you. Am I able to?
Most people
there is a button.
Do it.
I
don't know how they do it, but most people are able to do it.
Okay, let's see.
There is a screen down there. I guess like it's
I like this
now,
one.
I don't know if this is okay. I
like this one comment. Tom Hanks again. It never ends with that, dude. Yeah, it looks like Tom Hanks is related to everybody.
Well, he's the new Messiah. He's going to heal the whole planet. Everyone's got the coronavirus. And so as soon as you get Tom Hanks's virus blood thingy, everyone's going to heal. And technically, he's healed the entire planet.
Theme song, I'm Every Woman.
Are you able to see what I'm showing here?
Not yet.
Oh, that's too bad. See,
I don't know how. I mean, other people do it.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
I don't know exactly how they do it because I'm always hosting. I'm never really going to other people's shows. I never get invited.
So, I have to learn how to do that one time because I really have a lot of stuff that I'd like to
there's a private chat here. Is it a link? Because you can send me the link.
Yeah,
and I'll put it up.
Pinterest, so it's kind of hard. I don't know how to share Pinterest.
You can send his email. I send everything there to his email.
You can.
What I wanted to show you was
on StreamYard on the right hand side. You see how it says comments, banners, brand, private chat. Do you have a private chat there? Because a private chat allows you to email me directly where nobody else can see it, and I can put it up for you.
Okay, I'm not sure if it will.
Hey, we're a learning site, so you don't have to worry. You don't feel like this is actually a learning. We actually bring on students. People come on. They go off and do their own shows. People go off. We've had multiple people come on here and do their own shows after this, and they learned on the site, like on the spot. Like, how do I do this? Click that button.
Yeah, I just sent a private chat to you. I wrote, "Do you see me? Do you see any like red circle that tells you that there's a message?"
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, click on that, and that's where you can send me the link, and I'll put it up.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just having a hard time knowing how to share.
Don't sweat it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You might learn it.
I get invited, but usually they only want me if Bob comes. Nobody invites me by myself.
Invite them alone, man. I don't like people. I don't want to go on and hang out with him. I got my own shit to do. I got to go research.
Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I've got it.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
Let's see.
My good friend Joyce Box just joined us. She's fantastic. DQ, we love the raw format. I guess you can say it's raw. And people, this picture in the thumbnail, that's actually really Dracula's house. Back, whatever his name is.
Vlad the Impaler.
Somebody in the chat's like, "Hey, I like the thumbnail of the coffins." That's the real coffin that's in Drac's house. So
yeah, and then the royal family. I guess one of the assholes is claimed to be a descendant of Vlad the Impaler. I think it's Prince Charles.
They are.
Here we go. There's a chat. There it is. Okay, let me take that out.
Did she do it?
Yes, she got it. She got it to me to private chat.
You did it. Cool.
Here we go. Let me share that, and then you can tell me what to do with it. Pin. Here we go.
I'll open it to the picture that I wanted to show you. Okay.
Oh, thank God it wasn't a dick pic. Oh, I thought you were going to joke.
This is the 8th president, the guy on the top. This is the 8th president of the United States.
Okay, so the main picture, the very first picture is the 8th president of the United States. Okay.
Yeah. Look at him.
Click. You want me to click on him? You mean?
Sure, but no, look at him. He's a giant.
He is huge. He is.
Yeah,
she is too.
There's many pictures of him
And the wife
and his wife, and with many different people. They are giants.
Well, I know why. I actually know why.
Why?
Okay. Why?
I'm not joking. I swear to God, I'm not even playing around. In my research, I know why. We're 76 or 78 or whatever, 70-something% not oxygen. We're hydrogen or not nitrogen or whatever. We're not oxygen. We used to be at one time in this globe fucking fish, whatever dome we're in thingy. It used to be high oxygen, and with high oxygen, you have larger animals. I was at the University of Washington, and we did studies with I've talked about before with piranha, and they had put high oxygen in these tanks, and we watched the piranha over time grow huge because piranha come from a low oxygen Amazon. Amazon has low oxygen, so these little suckers are like they have to get half of their oxygen from eating flesh. That's where they have to eat so much because a lot of their stuff has to come from other animals. So because of the low oxygen in the Amazon, in the marsh, so anyway, they put them in fresh water and gave them a lot of oxygen. Not only did they get 2 to 3 times to 5 times the size because of high oxygen, their teeth became vegetarians. They didn't even need to eat meat anymore, so they were eating vegetables, but they come triple. So if you have an area of high oxygen, you're going to have every animal is going to be huge. Humans in that environment are going to be huge. Huge. So at one time in this place, we probably had high oxygen. And then as thousands of years, at whatever time and space we went through, the oxygen got lower and lower. And now we got cars and stupid shit where we've got the black goo, death oil in the ground, and we're burning it and breathing it. We've become smaller with less oxygen. We're little people now with no oxygen, and we're getting in diseases and all kinds of stuff from low oxygen. That's why I'm telling you guys, those things up there are helping us by like you said, angels, whatever you want to call them, are putting oxygen in here. They're trying to pump up the oxygen to save us. We're losing our oxygen fast. We're getting smaller and smaller and more decrepit with less oxygen. So those giants were from a place with high oxygen. That's all that is. And there's no disease involved. They're just big dudes. Big dudes. So yeah, only my theory. So if it's against yours, I'm sorry. You throw it away.
No. I agree with that. There's many things that will cause that. Another one is lack of vitamin D. So if we had some kind of disaster and we were like, say, 5 generations under the ground kind of stuff, which is, a possibility, we would get smaller and smaller and smaller. So the ones that would have been above ground during that period of time would not have. And there's a lot of evidence of, there's a lot of evidence of giants right now. Actually, we have giants among us. Like
you're correct. You're correct. You are correct. I have to take vitamin D. The majority of people, I just talked, oh my God, you talk about zinc. This is on the table, but I just talked about it with somebody else. When I did my studies, anthropology, with all the people on this back of the turtle, we want to call it, everybody has one thing in common: low vitamin D across the board. If I talk to anybody with sidebar, you talked to your doctor recently? Yeah, I have low vitamin D. Everybody does. You're correct. Correct. Yes.
But the Bible does talk about Nephilims,
Yeah.
It talks about giants, and it talks about a race of people that were half angel, half humans, and that said that they were giants among us. And if you look even at the architecture that we, like our parliament buildings and our castles and all of that stuff, it's all made for somebody who's like 10 to 14 or bigger, a lot of our stuff. I've been doing that research too. So that's another thing that I'm actually going into. But I believe that the ones who were giants and are giants, and a lot of the elites and everything, not every one of them, but there's a lot of huge people among it. I wanted to bring that one showing this was a president, and he truly was a giant. And you have many different pictures of them with other smaller people around. So they were. I've been working on that giant one, so that hopefully I get it in a week or so. I'll have that one out.
Here's an interesting question.
Sure.
Wouldn't there be more oxygen in the Amazon as of the trees?
You would think. In fact, that's the majority of the oxygen of the planet. Well, actually, number one, good, correct.
The ocean is.
Well, number one is the ocean. Number
70%.
two is South America, Amazon. That's where yes, correct. That's the majority of it. It's not coming from the fucking Middle East, I'll tell you that.
Yes, you can cut down every single tree and still have enough oxygen to live. I know people say trees, you're killing us. Technically, no, you're not, because 70% of the oxygen comes from the ocean.
Well, except the fact that we're dumping oil into it, we're killing the ocean.
Plants and lives and trees are takes it in, cleans up the air and brings it back up. So it's like a filter system.
They're building strip malls in the Amazon, and then we're dumping oil in the ocean. So we're dying. Yeah. We're getting smaller. She's correct on all fronts. We're small, insignificant. We've got low vitamin D, low oxygen, low everything. And she's showing evidence of how they used to look.
Wow. But there is evidence at the time, though, even if you go into a lot of the books and that, where there were smaller than us. Like literally Lord of the Rings was real. Like, I think that's just really, it's an autobiography. Honestly, a lot of these stories, as you start looking, there were people our size. There's ones that were like 8. There's ones that are 12. There's ones that are 14 and 18 that were themselves. And have you guys seen the one, and I can't pick it up, but the one of the giants in Japan who is as tall as the wires on the, and this is 1904.
I debunked it. I watched that movie. It's a clip it's a Japanese guy. He looks like a sumo and he's walking to the street. It's a movie. I watched the Japanese. I was in Japan. I watched it. They took a clip out of, no, you're correct. Though there's still in India and Pakistan, there are huge, and to this day they're still there and fully proportioned. Exactly right. The Japanese have always been short little fuckers. Forget them. But the other ones, tall as shit. Like, disregard the Koreans. They're fucking short little bastards. But the big guys, like in Pakistan and all those other places in India, and the Sikhs in India, the turbans, they wear turbans, are Sikh. That's their religion. Huge men. I've seen them. I was like, oh my God. Now I'm a big guy too. I'm big and muscly. So I got to see these guys. I'm RH negative side. And they carry the RH negative gene, by the way. That's what you're saying. Correct on that, by the way.
Well, every human being does. We all have it in us. It's part of us.
That's the newest stuff. I've never heard anybody say that. That's awesome, by the way.
Let me throw an off the wall theory question.
I like her theory.
I don't like talk about masks. I get bored of hearing about masks, but if oxygen is what helps causes the size of a person, if you have a young kid and you start having him wear a mask most of the day, every single day, can that technically cause less oxygen and stop his growth, in your opinions?
It will stop his brain from functioning and it might kill him. Like they're in China, they had 2 children that died on the playground since this outbreak because they were forced to wear these masks and they had heart attacks. And there's another one here in America, I'm in Canada. The same thing. She was in Walmart, Costco, the place I don't want to go because they're forcing you to wear masks. And she died of a heart attack. This is evil, what's happening. What they're doing and what they're doing to children will cause many, many problems. The ones that will survive it will have, mentally
internal problems. Everything. You're right, because you're. I explain to people like this. I went to university. I'm gonna explain to you guys in layman's terms. It's how I talk to people because everyone's dumb. So to explain to people, you take a shit and you defecate and you actually express gas from your ass. And you also express gas from your mouth. You belch the same gas. You're releasing, your mouth is releasing bad things. The body brings in good things. It goes through a filtering process, and everything bad in your body, just like you fart, comes out of your mouth. In fact, you breathe out more methane gas than you fart. Now, people don't know that. They're like, well, shut up. No, you.
Moisture that comes out of our mouth as well. I think it's like a third of our body moisture comes out every day. And you have a mask on all the time, and it's got what you're saying, the filth from yourself. You're touching it, you're scratching your butt, and you're touching it, and then you're touching your hair. You went over here and you touched it, and you have a mega bacteria growing, and you are going to get bacterial pneumonia, people. You're going to get bacteria pneumonia, and that's where we're going to see people dying is from this. But they're going to be stupid in the meantime. They're going to get in car accidents because they're going to be lack of oxygen. They're going to be breathing in their own carbon dioxide.
They are breathing in their own carbon dioxide.
Now, why these guys here? Let me show a picture. How come these guys here?
So right.
Never fall and die. You guys explain this. How these guys make it? Look at their masks. Michael,
right? Well, they're dead.
They're dead. Those are like the best masks to wear. You know, I thought about getting those masks.
Well, Jason is technically, by definition, a zombie because he's dead. Now, Michael Myers, well, he's been shot and re-erected several times. I see there's impossible way he could not live. So he's a zombie. So then, then you got what's his name? Fucking Trump. Trump has probably been dead several times. He's a zombie. Look at his face. Dude's old and rotten. And then you've got the other two guys. I don't know, man. They're definitely, one of them's not even a human. It's a machine. They're zombies. So, oxygen, they don't need oxygen. They have they're like multi-celled, like a mushroom. All their energy comes in through cell to cell to cell like a mushroom. You guys know the complexity of a mushroom. So zombies are technically mushrooms, walking mushrooms.
Well, they're brainless, right?
Brainless. But the cells just communicate with each other by cell, as in we got veins. We go back to Rh negative. So the blood carries the information, as in they don't have veins. They just have, it goes cell to cell for information. Zombies.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything we talked about? It just zombies. Anyway,
There I am. My mind just
everything here.
goes, and I think about something, and I just go.
And what comes to like a download, your copper. So Rh negatives are high copper. Rh positives are iron. Copper conducts more electricity than iron. Now, I'm not saying this is true. So don't quote me on this. I'm not a liar. I'm not lying during the apocalypse. But Eric, when we were kids and hunting, and we were in a fucking meadow, and you guys took off, and I was kind of by myself, and it was getting stormy, and we were supposed to heading back to camp. I wanted to hang around for a few more seconds. I remember waking up off the ground, and my body felt like it was just tore up, numb, and I thought I got struck by lightning. I think I did. I got fucking because a lot of go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you find that you get bit if you're in a lightning area? Because I get like sharp bites all over, like bee stings me all over my body.
It's stingy. You get stingy. Like you said, it's like sitting on your hand. If you want to give yourself a stranger, if you want to masturbate, and you sit on both hands, you get them numb, and then you pull the hands out and they tingle.
Yeah.
You're gonna do a stranger. Yeah. It feels like that. It feels like it tingles. The whole body tingles like that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And I'm much more productive in a storm. So I have to be more careful not to go and touch the TV or something like that, because it will, and I will get really badly shocked. Like I'll be like a foot away and I'll go to touch the light switch, and there'll be like lightning that will come out of my finger. But it's painful. It's very painful,
Yeah. Yeah. Me,
Yeah,
me and Mike.
conductive.
The numbness, like Bob's talking about, I actually have a condition that got developed in the military that caused me to have a medical discharge. Where I don't know if you ever heard the word called Raynaud's. Okay, most people in the chat, what if you don't know what Raynaud's is? It's a weird phenomenon for whatever reason. Sometimes, right now, my hand's normal looking, but with Raynaud's, sometimes the blood rushes out of the hand,
Oh.
here, and my hand goes white, and it gets that 10,000 needle feelings.
Yeah.
So that's why the military let me out, because they're saying that they can't have me on a ship because if I'm holding a rope or something, my hand goes numb, somebody's life. So they not kick me out. They give me a medical discharge. But it's weird how the blood. I mean, a lot of times when it's cold, because it gets.
That's very common with Rh negative people. Your brothers, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, then you have probably a lot more, even though you may say that some people can be both, sort of like on the borderline, and that is a very common symptom for it. And family members will carry a lot of the traits because it's just really just a little bit more that makes that test come, but you truly are Rh negative,
Yeah. Well, he used to be. Him and my brother. My mom was Rh negative and my dad was Rh negative. Well, my mom bailed when we were kids, but anyway, so my dad gave us the warning about you're not gonna have blood in the field, son. So just letting you know, your life is in your own hands. You join the military. He wanted us to go, but he just gave us the pre-warning anyway. So I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So Eric was a negative, and then the flip happened. I asked Eric. Now Eric's like, "What?" I said, "Dude, check your fucking card." Why? Check your card. I said, I feel crazy at the moment. So he goes and checks his card. And he goes, I'm already positive. I said, what the fuck? And then my ex-wife was AB negative. I'm an O negative. And my son all of a sudden turned to a B positive. He was a B negative. I know it. My daughter was an AB negative. I know it. They both changed during this 2016 flip effect, whatever you want to call it. I call it the douchebag effect. Who cares what it's called? But they changed. And I said, well, that's good, guys. I said, I'm not happy for you, more happy than anything else, because at least you guys are saved. If you're in a situation, you don't need to worry about blood. I'm happy in that way. And so everybody, my own family had a flip. I did a poll on the sidebar on my show, and these gals were fighting each other because they were talking about you probably know all about it. In fact, we'll let you talk about the shots. This one gal got the shots because she had an Rh positive husband and she was a negative, and she got the shots. She has the memory of the shots, the pain of the shots. The kids had autism, the whole goddamn thing because of the shots. All of a sudden, she's fighting with the other gal, and she finds out that she changed.
Yeah,
she changed. She's like, wait a minute, my blood type changed, and I'm like, whoa. And I thought she's lying. I'm not gonna lie to you.
There are
then I heard another lady say the same thing.
That I found, Amona, that happens a lot more. And I think it's to do with what they're doing, like especially vaccinations and things like that. They're putting in the technology on all these people. They're able to get it through. It's got to go through the blood barrier, and that's what they're doing. But you can clean yourself by through using chlorine dioxide, MMS. You've heard about that. It gets rid of heavy. It helps your body. Vaporize heavy metals, helps it become a gaseous. So if you've got that, it will. It's almost impossible to hide. That's where I've really gotten censored, is talking about this.
Say it again. Say it again. We'll say it one more time.
What is
it called? What is it called?
It's called chlorine dioxide, or MMS. But chlorine dioxide is you can actually make it yourself. But it's cheaper than dirt. It's like $37 for 6 months supply. And it also kills parasites, it kills fungus, and it kills if you got candidus. Most people are suffering from some type of a poisoning, because that's what we are. Most of the time we're being poisoned. And now they're even saying that the CDC said that chlorine dioxide kills the coronavirus. They've even actually come out to say that, but they've cut down any site that sells it, It's really difficult to get a hold of it. And I've been using it now for 5 years. And prior to that, because of what I've got in my mouth, I had a severe stutter and really have a hard time with mixing up words and stuff. And since I've been using that for 5 years now, I'm here talking.
Really?
You know.
Yeah. I want to find that and put a link in it. Find it and put a link in this.
Sure.
Put a link in there, man.
I will.
I want that.
Yeah, because I had a big time stutter growing up and stuff. I had issues like that. Actually, I had a lot of issues growing up.
Well, you're just dumb, though.
Me too. I'm dyslexic. That's another thing.
Thanks a lot.
I was dyslexic. I was dyslexic.
Is this ever here?
Thank you, Michael.
Michael Healy's on the ball today.
Michael Healy's awesome when it comes down again.
Our negative people are upside down from this world. We don't really fit. Like a true garbage negative does not fit in this world in any form. You know? And that's why we are we're high intelligence. We have high motivation. We have to learn things. But we also have, a lot of us have dyslexia. A lot of us have those kind of issues.
Yeah. I'm still dyslexia, what people don't know is they have a hard, the people with dyslexia have a hard time with letters. When you write something out, it's not coherent to the brain. You literally have to draw a picture. You draw a picture of something and it's the same thing as the word. And it sounds crazy, but a dyslexic can draw a picture and literally draw 5 pictures and it'll be a whole page of whatever bullshit that you were supposed to read by picture.
Think about the original languages, how they were formed, right? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, exactly. Just like the back of the day, they drew pictures and we're like, what the pictures are like? Nah, man, because you're a dumbass. You don't have dyslexia. So you use old Greek fucking letters to put the cat fell out of the tree. And somebody with dyslexia can't do that. They have a hard time. They can't comprehend it. So they draw a cat falling out of a tree.
Yeah.
And they can just draw the damn picture and they can come up. They use their own mind to fill in the blanks with everything. They can learn to speak. You can learn to say, you can learn to talk from your mom and your dad, and your friends, and your neighbors, wherever you're at. You can speak. You know the and whatever. You don't need to read it. You don't have to read it. So dyslexics, a lot of them will start drawing pictures instead of using letters. But because we're in this society and you got to write a fucking letter out, well, they write letters. They can't draw pictures at work.
You can't learn anything useful at school. They just waste your time when your brain is growing and it really could absorb amazing stuff. They get them down there to learn a bunch of bullshit. Excuse me, guys, but that's what I do.
People with dyslexia can write kanji. They've learned kanji fast. The people how come that guy learned kanji so fast? He's dyslexic. That's why he learned kanji. He knows that he can do the symbols fast as shit. But he can't write it. He can do it better in kanji than he can write out the whole sentence in English. Let him write it in kanji. I mean, it's amazing. I had friends that had dyslexia and they could read kanji like nothing. I could figure out kanji. I was taking Japanese and kanji was coming fast to me. Dyslexia. Boom, 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 boom. I can read this. This is easy as shit. But put a book down, I used to have a hard time, but now I could read fast. I learned to speed read. So. Yeah.
Well, what it was with me is I just learned how to memorize everything. So I have a memorization of it. So it's that same thing. It's a picture. I have a picture of it. I can't phonically spell or anything like that. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I'm a bad speller too. I'm saying I can't spell shit. I can't spell.
Maybe the semi-cure for certain things. Is this something that has to be described from a doctor to get?
No, this is not. If you go to the right website, and I hopefully he put it on there, it has different amounts to take for different disorders. You can use it.
Okay. So it's like a
cancer. Cancer is a fungus, right? That's what cancer is. So if you're treating it with MMS, it kills funguses. they get great results with cancer within a very short time. It depends. Heavy metals take longer to come out of your system, where, you know, and for me, because I have, you know, all of that, I have to take it every day to keep my head clear, you know.
Okay.
It really does work. And I have a number of people that have written me back after, you know, they've been using it. One woman was using it on her child that had vaccination damage and had autism. And the child has no autism anymore. Like, the symptoms are gone. You know, it does work. And that's the reason why it's banned, right? Like, who wants to have healthy people?
I know.
No, you can't have that.
If I was getting a blood transfusion, you know, say somewhere he's had to get a blood transfusion, who knows what I'm really am. Of course, the government says I'm all positive. That could be lying, but could I get a blood transfusion from a Rh negative person?
Absolutely, you can. In fact, not only can you do it, you could pay for it, because they're doing it in fucking Silicon Valley. They're blood doping. They blood dope. They pay Rh negatives to donate blood for a lot of money to blood dope.
I know that famous bike rider cheated, and he admitted that he cheated for 7 years, winning the bike race because he was blood doping.
Blood doping. He was blood doping. You could take Rh negative blood and blood dope with it. You guys ever watch? There's a movie, our TV show, Eric. You know, True Blood.
True Blood.
True Blood is
O negative on it. Yeah.
It's a great example. Instead of drinking the O negative blood, they don't drink it. They blood dope it. You could blood dope Rh negative blood and fucking lift up a horse. I can lift up a horse now. They can run, jump, swim. All these athletes are blood doping. They blood dope. And so they'll even have guys, I've talked to them. I believe I've been in the business. There was a bunch of people that sell their blood. They make good fucking money off their Rh negative blood. They go up to like places like the Alps or whatever. They jog in the high altitudes, high altitudes, you know, thinner oxygen. But anyway, they drive they use oxygen when they're up there. And they get their blood. Yeah. And then they come back down and their shit is gold, man. And so they show where they've been and what they've done. The people have already paid them to go up and do all these crazy things up there and build themselves up. And then they sell their blood to these athletes under the table. Eric, you're right. Remember, he won all those marathons.
You know what I'm thinking about. The most famous.
He won all of those. Here's the problem, though. Now, here's the problem. He's going to laugh at this. He had bone cancer. So he blood doped Rh negative blood from these guys building themselves up in the mountains, and he won all of these bicycle races, all of these bicycle races. But it came for him because you can't have Rh negative blood and handle it, and he had ball cancer.
Yes, Lance Armstrong. That's what I was thinking of.
Was he doing that? I never heard that story.
Yeah. He got all his trophies taken away, everything, because he was blood doping. He was cheating. You're not allowed to take drugs, steroids, or anything. He wasn't taking steroids. He was blood doping.
Rh negative was a steroid, yeah.
Yeah. And so in Silicon Valley right now, they're actually paying young teenagers. Now, here's this. This is where people get all upset. Well, this just fucking sounds weird. Yeah, virgin fucking girls, because they don't have a male cell in their body. They didn't have sex with a boy or a man yet. So they didn't have cells in their head. Women could get cells. So these girls, their blood, Rh negative blood, they blood dope them. Their blood's clean. You see what I'm saying? I'm not virgin sucker. Nah, it's because the blood is clean. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
they don't have diseases. They're not having any intercourse. So their blood is clean, and they're selling their blood to go to college in Silicon Valley. It's legal. They've got salons. Well, they had them now. Thank God for the fucking coronavirus. They shut them down. Yes. Thank you, coronavirus. They shut the salons down. And so they can't blood dope, but they were blood doping children legally, paying them lots of money. All of these celebrities, all of these people from Silicon, all these rich fuckers like Elon Musk, blood dopers, man, from Rh negative teenagers. Yeah. True story. And look it up. Do your own research, guys. Look up blood doping. Look up blood transfusions. Look up blood transfusions in Silicon Valley. Eric, look it up. Maybe it'll show up.
See, here it is. This is like, how exactly did Lance Armstrong cheat? And then when I went down here, it does say right here, according to WMD, blood doping. Method of improving physical endurance and performance via boosting the athlete's ability to oxygenate their muscles. The simplest method is to exact the athlete's blood before an event, then transfuse it back during the opportune moments before or in the middle of the competition.
Yeah. The Kardashian, that bitch, Kardashians, they blood their faces. They're going into salons and we use our own blood. Bullshit. You're getting it from the fucking RH negative, the place where they're taking the blood. They're buying the blood. They're buying the blood and they're using it for facial, using it for their faces. They're using RH. There was a famous, that famous gal that swam in the freaking bathtub with all the young girls' blood, back in the day. I forgot her name. It's some evil vampire lady, Middle Ages. But anyway, it's been going on, and I even saw it here in England. They do the blood facials, the blood facials. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my, but they're supposed to take it from you for the common folk. Now we're all common folk. We're plebs. For the plebs, they just use your own blood and they put it on your face. So they talk about the rich people. They don't use their own blood. They're not going to be injected with their own. They're going to buy yours. They're going to buy yours and mine and any RH negative blood, preferably somebody without disease, and they're going to put it on their face.
Well, isn't it that's why the real Dracula was drinking people's blood, because it made him feel younger, to look younger? I mean, that's where the Dracula story comes from.
Well, that's where it comes from, yeah. That's where it comes from. He used to dip bread.
We do. I think we are all suffering from progeria, advanced stages. We get the people that do it in 10 years, but I think we are. I think we're supposed to be living a lot longer. What's happening?
Yeah, more oxygen.
A little bit different. I mean, I'm still aging. It's not like I'm not aging, but my aging compared to people of my own age, we don't even look like the same when I'm sitting next to another person my age.
I'm 50. I turned 50 in October. So I know. I'm 50 in October. I'm like, damn it. But I got passed for 30s. I got passed for my 30s.
Yeah.
So is it really the ultimate fountain of youth, just like Rippin' Rabbit Hole just said?
Yeah, it is.
RH negative blood is now, of course. How can I say I'm buying blood? I'm buying blood to put in my system to feel stronger and better. How can I test it for sure?
Do that.
Bob, that's funny. But how do I know if I'm putting in RH negative or RH positive? I mean,
they actually just have you can do a home test to check what blood type. So if you wanted to do, I don't recommend that you touch it. I don't not have anything to do with the blood. That's something that's sacred to him, and I take that as meaning. And it's not just RH negative. That's his. It's the life is in it. The life force is the blood, right? That's why you.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the point I was making.
No, it's gonna be good. It'll come back to you. I'm scatterbrained, so I do this. I'll be talking about one out of 50.
Bob, you're saying like the Kardashians, they buy the negative blood. Now,
they buy the negative blood.
How do I know if I was doing the same thing that the blood they're giving me is actually negative versus positive?
You don't know. Well, you can have an O+. So what they could be doing is like give him the cheap shit. So you go to it's like the old Western days. You go to the bar and you ask for pure whiskey. I want pure corn whiskey. Then they give you the fucking turpentine with the snake venom in it, mixed up with some spit and a rotten frog, rat. You don't know what they're giving you.
That's true. Remember our great man told us one time, Bob, that if you have a lot of people coming over and you don't want to give them the good wine, you want to give them the cheap wine. What you do is you give everybody cheese first. So once everybody eats that cheese, they can't really taste how good the wine is.
Oh, that's why you do that.
I'm like, that's true. I think make people
Yeah.
eat before you give them the wine.
Give them the cheap wine and just relabel it.
Cheap wine.
It's just relabel it. It's relabel the wine. Yeah, man. Yeah, but as long as they give you O, you're fine. O is a universal. O negative is a bonus universal. But if you're an O, you could take O. If you're an AB, you could take A and B. If you're an A, you can only take A. If you're B, you can only take B. If you're O, you can only take O. But they can all take O, though.
Yeah.
A's can take O. B can take O. AB can take O. Everyone can take O. But you O can't take anybody else but O.
I remember for you, the military had not force. Well, they kind of forced you to keep giving blood because you had that rare.
I gave a lot of blood.
You even know why they were using you.
I got a scar. I got a scar. I could show any doctor right now. There is a scar on my arm from where they keep, these are corpsmen. They keep poking it in the same spot. I got a scar. The scar was looks like I can rub it a little bit. It looks like it's right there. I can't barely see it, but it's right there. It's a red dot. Looks like I got a shot, right? I can rub it a little bit, and you can see it. It's right there. There's a red dot. It's always there. It's right over the vein, and because I got it for so many times in the fucking Navy, I couldn't. There's weird what they keep taking my blood for, but they took it a lot. It's so perfect that when I went to work, and if I was late, I swear I had to lie a little bit. So all I have to do is rub this and put a little bit of put a bandage over it. And I'll be standing next to my boss. I can take it off now, and I take it off. Yeah, you can see it now.
While you're late. Oh, I was giving blood. I had to give blood.
They thought I gave blood all the time. RH nigga, I gave blood. I just slept in. I drank too much that night, but they don't know. That's how many times they took it out of me. It left a mark, permanent mark.
What did she say? She used to kill young girls and bath in their blood.
That's the girl. That's the lady.
Okay.
Elizabeth Bathory. Okay, is that her name? Okay. Yeah, she was an elite. She was a royal. And they eventually caught on. She was killing all the virgins. Yeah.
But see, now if they were RH negative, would they be killing RH negatives, right? For that. Because that would be them. But probably their own blood type. Probably O's. Back in the day, people didn't know this, but they could tell. Because when a man and a woman wanted to get married, you had one place you had to go first, and that was the Catholic Church. You can't go get married without the Catholic Church's approval. So you go into Catholic Church, and there's people that went to universities, they'll back me up on this. They had to take a blood test every time. So the church made them take a blood test. Yeah. And to find out if they're compatible. If they find out she's a negative, they can't get married. Because, of course, we can go next conversation, we'll probably talk about how you know about that. She can't have his baby. Yeah. And so they can't get married. Church says we can't sanction this marriage. Why? Her blood won't allow it. And so the church had a way of checking blood types. People don't know that.
We had a cousin that couldn't get married to his wife in California. So they actually ended up had to go to Nevada to get married because they don't do blood tests or anything in Nevada.
No. Because they couldn't get married because of the blood mix. They don't not compatible.
I did my first back when I first got married. They did take blood back then. They didn't do it now. I never really understood what it was for. They were saying, "Oh well, just to make sure you're compatible," but they never. But they didn't tell us at that time. My husband was positive and I was negative, and that was going to cause problems. They did tell us. I mean, I was so young, it didn't make sense to me, and I figured. They said, "Well, you'll get a shot," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, they're giving you a shot from a positive. Eric,
they're faking you. Yeah.
Faking the body, faking you. So they fake the fetus. It wants to reject it. The body wants to reject the fetus because it doesn't recognize the fetus as the same species, whatever.
All of that start to react and cause an autoimmune reaction with the mother. But that is, again, I believe it is nanotechnology that's on there that the RH negative who has none of those, it will kill you. But
I
I
got a
look.
perfect question for you both then. I got a perfect question. I'm not saying shots are good or not for people. You know, I don't know all the rules about getting shot stuff. After we had our first child, my wife had to get an RH shot. The big
She's
bad
them.
she did get it. I know some people said you shouldn't give it. Well, my wife got it a long time ago. So what's the reason for getting the RH shot after the baby? What's that all about?
She could have that one if she wants. She's a
It's
woman.
supposed to make it so that your body won't produce those enzymes for the next child. That's what they say. Because you can have your first child and it can be positive, but it's after you've had one positive child, it's going to be the next child that's going to be affected. So they give it to you after a positive child to make it so that you don't develop those antibodies. And I do know it does work because my grandmother lost 4 children that way, and my mom lost one that way as well. So, I mean, it did. And not only that, prior to that, Rogaine, I was actually watching a doctor talk about this. You know what? I have to let me come right back. I have to let my dog out.
Go ahead. Look, we always take breaks. Take a break. Go ahead.
Actually, but I do want to say what he said. That prior to having that shot, the mental institutions were mostly filled with Rh positive children that were born to Rh negative because their brains swelled and they had water on the brain and all of those kind of conditions. There were a lot of deformities that happened because it really just could not mix. So, and then the mothers also would get toxicity and they would die a lot of times because the baby would swell, right? And she would swell and she would get that, I can't remember what they call that, where your blood pressure goes up. Yeah. And that is where most of when we hear about the women dying in childbirth were Rh negative, having a baby with Rh positive because the baby would get too big and would kill the mother and she couldn't deliver it. And those were things that happened prior to that. And so for me, I had the shot and it did save me and my children. Nobody died, but my kids also have health issues. So was that from the shot? Was it still because we were uncompatible and we shouldn't have had children? And this doctor was saying that truly, and he was talking about cousins marrying. He says it's actually reverse from what they say. You should be, people should be sticking to their blood group, especially when it's Rh negative. He was saying that will stop all of that if they just marry other Rh negatives, and then you won't have that. But that is the world we live in.
Yeah, no. Well, there are groups that do that. That's the royals. They do that. The secret, the whatever families, they all keep it within the family, and then they make it for like they become chancellors, presidents, leaders of banks, pretty much actors. Brad Pitt's Rh negative. What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio is Rh negative. There's a whole God. There's a lot. There's a lot of Jewish directors. They hire all the Rh negatives.
And it's not that the Rh negative blood is wrong. It's just that they haven't allowed it to be contaminated like everybody else is, and they haven't got those. It's like what was her name? The one who was running against Trump.
Clinton. Yeah, she's Rh negative.
Yeah, she ended up was the one who brought in the GMO food, right? Like she was the one who changed our whole health industry, food industry. But she refused to have that. They made sure that they traveled with their own food that they grew in the gardens at the White House. And they would not because they knew what they were going to do to the population. You know,
the royal family, the Rh negative royal families. Everybody else is like a pleb. Everyone else is just nothing. Now you and me. We're regular folk. We're bastards. That we consider as bastards. We're bastards of some royal line somewhere. We're bastards, but we're still just like we're better than they are.
We do have. If my lineage goes back to Richard the Lionhearted.
There you go.
But you'll find that a lot of the royals were usurped. And my grandmother used to tell me that we were of royal blood, but she said we were in hiding.
Yeah.
You know, so
Our
for
family.
some reason, there's a certain line. That's where you get a lot of people that are in there that are Rh negative. They are not those people. You know, they were the ones that were usurped, that had their kingdoms.
Yeah, I'm the king of England. I'm actually the rightful king of England right now. I'm the king of England. Somewhere in England. They don't acknowledge it yet, but the royal family won't get out of my palace, but I'm working on that.
Yeah,
Look at that one guy. There is a guy who's saying that he is the king.
A full show on that. If you go to my channel, if you look,
we've traced our truth.
Who is the real royal family? So we actually did a whole show about how we're related to where we should be the rightful king and queen. Well, actually, he'll be the king because he's the oldest. But let's go back to this president thing. I've heard this a lot, guys, about the president. I've heard that most all the presidents are Rh negative. That's what I hear a lot. I want to know, is that true? And how do we know that's true? I mean, or did I just hear wrong about the president being Rh negative?
I think they're all related, though, because my theory on the actors, the presidents, anybody's in the bankers, and I think they're all really truly the actors are just the royals' children acting for us.
Right.
That's all they are. Because when you start to look at, they all have the same background. There was no meeting and like by chance. All those are cover stories. Because when you start to find out, you find out, oh, they're related to here and they're related to there. They're all related. Nobody gets in. Nobody gets in. We don't get in.
Yeah, they're all related. Everyone. That's why I tell people, do your research. Go ahead. Do your research and you'll find out. Go ahead. Go. Get out of here. Go do your thing. I'm gonna talk to Eric. Eric, we joked about why did George Bush, that cocksucker, why did that old piece of shit get knighted by the Queen of England? Why is any president ever being knighted by the Queen of England? Bullshit.
I don't even remember him being knighted by the Queen.
He's
actually,
knighted, dude. So someone needs to do research. How many presidents were? I don't know. Maybe it's been removed. I don't know if it's gonna be out there. How many? I mean, I know Elton John, which is an Rh negative, was knighted by the fucking Queen, but a lot of Rh negatives are knighted by the Queen. It's kind of fucking weird like that. A lot of Rh negatives being knighted by the Queen of England, probably because they're related. They're just bastards. Everyone's recognized a bastard. But then you got breeders, breeders for the Rh negative royal lines. They got breeders. I think there's a movie called My Pet Goat Part 2, and there's an old woman locked up in a large penis with a red light on it, and she's got a red bloody crotch. It's because she was having babies for the royals.
What about?
I think.
Read that. Read that.
Oh, all right. I'm blind. Okay. Rh negative bloodlines are reptilian descendants. Well, no, actually, you guys are reptiles. Everybody is. We have larger reptile brains in this timeline. So I'm from Sagittarius Arm, and in my timeline, they were small. But in this place, everybody has a huge-ass reptile brain. That's misinformation. That's just like the coronavirus. That's just like any other big-ass lie, and that's being pushed by that piece of shit, fucking David Icke, and I will punch him in the fucking mouth when I meet him. This is family friendly, and this is only a comic book, so nothing I say is real. I'll punch that piece of shit in the mouth, David Icke, because he's an Rh negative calling the fucking royals reptiles when he himself is a reptile, or he's Rh negative. So how are they reptiles being Rh negative blood, and he himself is Rh negative blood? It's a contradiction, and he is there for the royal family to mislead all of you guys.
Now, she wrote, they come from a race of lizards that have gone underground, but the lizard queen lives above ground.
I'm not a lizard, though. I feel like a wolf, though.
Well, you're more of a monkey with a banana. Eating banana,
Yeah. I don't feel like a lizard. Now, maybe they mean by the lizard line. In fact, we're going to go into that subject right now. We're talking about where the lizard, I'll tell you guys where the lizard comes from.
Lady Diana was told by the queen that she was simply there to produce
air. Correct. And that's why she was done to kill her, because she was pregnant with a Muslim baby. You can't have a Muslim baby, especially right before the flip happened. Bullshit.
Well, it was known that her and her husband were both had mistresses on the side. They had their own boyfriend
And she was knocked up, man. That fucking he was a Muslim royal, and he knocked her shit up. She had a bun in the oven, and there's no way in hell that royal family's gonna have a Muslim freaking prince, because he could be a king. That means there'd be a Muslim king. Can't have that. They gotta kill her and the baby.
It should have been us.
It's like, why did they kill Diana? Because she was knocked up with a freaking Muslim. Those royal bastards. But it's okay, because the Queen of England is now she's now related to the Prophet Muhammad. She's related to the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah, that's right. Like, she does have those ties herself. Yeah. Absolutely.
How is she related to the Prophet Muhammad? The Prophet Muhammad's beard is on display, and it's red and long. Now, Prophet Muhammad was white with a red long beard. That's why all the Muslims put henna in their beards. They henna them red, because Prophet Muhammad was a redhead with a red beard. And now she's related to the Prophet Muhammad. But actually, that queen is a freaking Nazi and a Nazi sympathizer. Screw her, man. When I play chess, I take out the queen. That bitch better get out of my palace. Serious, I'm the king.
The king that advocated so that she became queen, like her dad died, right? And then she became king. But one that advocated, he was on Nazi's side, was on Hitler's side.
He's on Hitler's side.
Well, their family, that's their lineage, you know.
Northern European Nazis. I mean, I'm Northern European, but I'm racist. I hate Nazis. People say, what are you racist about? I hate Nazis.
Well, Nazis isn't a race. It's a philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Let's kill everybody but us philosophy. And you hate that philosophy. Me too.
No.
I like Germans, and I like everybody. It's just, if you want to kill me, I don't like you.
No, actually, we got Strozer. Our grandma was German, full-blood German. Her name was Strozer. Yeah. So we're German too. We're German, Irish, and Scottish, and Welsh, because I'm the king of Wales. But yeah, we're like you. We're mixed. We're mixed. Basically, Viking migration. You're a descendant of the Viking migration, which means you family lived all over the place in Europe. It don't matter where. Russians are basically Vikings that mixed in with the Asian, you know. So they're just mixed up. It's just Kiev and all that places. So the Northern Europeans come down, the Vikings, and we had a strong Rh negative concentration. It came down basically, and that's where they mixed in with everybody else down lower, down the deserts. But I'm gonna talk about where the lizard comes from. People with a history. I'm gonna tell from an anthropological point of view where the lizard idea comes from. So somebody said that we're lizards because we're Rh negative. So I'm gonna tell them where the lizard of the myth comes from.
Okay.
It's a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth. The lizard comes from a woman with the name of Melusine. 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 And she's a mermaid with 2 legs. You could see her at Starbucks.
Okay. Yeah.
She's a Starbucks lady. Now, my time she had one tail. It was one, but in this place, wherever we are in the back of this turtle, now she's got 2 legs. So the mythology, the mythos of this place, she's got 2 legs. Now, the history of her, way, way, way back then, is she was human every day of the week except for Saturn Day. So on Saturday, she married a prince who became a king. Yeah. So the king in this story can see her every day except for Saturday. She can even have children with him and everything's fine, but he can't see her on Saturday. So on Saturday, she locked herself away and she was basically in a big ass bathtub. She turns back into a mermaid or whatever. She becomes reptile or whatever. She goes back into the reptile, comes from that. She becomes reptile and goes back into the big old huge tub on a Saturday, big old pool or wherever she's at in a pool. And then so one day, according to the mythos, the family says, there's something wrong with your wife, man. There's no way in hell she hangs out alone on a Saturday in that freaking pool area by herself. There's gotta be dudes in there. So he gets curious and she says, do not ever see me on a Saturday. So of course, a guy is a guy thinking she's cheating. Fucking bitch is stepping out. So he opens the door and he sees her. Oh God, she's a big ass reptile on a Saturday.
I heard this story.
Yeah, and she screams and she says the wedding is now annul. I can't. We had one rule: you don't see me on a Saturday. But he freaked out anyway because now he figured out he's been sleeping with a big reptile. So she leaves. She has children, and she had the children move on down the line as the reptilian her children between a man and this reptile woman. As time goes further, she's also able to, as the story, the mythos people goes, like your Bible is a mythos. She could turn it also into a dragon. She's a dragon. She could turn in, because she left, she could be anything she wants. She can go back to being reptile anytime she wants. She's only human for this man she fell in love with, and she had to be a reptile in water on Saturdays. But now she's on her own, and she left the dude, and so she goes off, and she's sad. It's a sad story. She goes off, and it's horrible. And and so she becomes a dragon, and now she's a dragon. And so there's your story of Melusine. So there's this story, this myth. Every country has a different story. Scotland has a different story. Northern Europe has a different story. All over the globe, they have China has the same story, but it's different. So they all have the same story of this one incident. Like how the entire back of this turtle have the same myth story. It's odd. So that kind of the ancient bloodlines are lizards. They come from they come down from her line, and that's.
I believe those creatures exist, but I don't believe they're Rh negative. Okay. And I believe that there is a lot more things like that are out there, but they're kind of the controllers, because I come from a Christian, I believe that they are the fallen angels. And children of those are the Nephilim. They are mixed between that and that, because the type of angel, I guess, that came down, is it seraphim? And a seraphim is a lizard kind of bird. It's a dragon. It's where you get so basically Satan was a dragon. That was what he was. And so when they mix their with genetics with us, there is that. And people think that's the Rh negative, but that's not the Rh negative. Yeah. I believe they are here. And I believe they are the ones that you're not really seeing. You're not seeing those ones, I mean, that's really reaching and it's going a little further. But I've seen strange things of people, like a lot of people have seen people transform in front of them, become something different.
I've heard that. I've heard that the Queen of England, that Russian's great leader, Mikhail Gorbachev, or not Gorbachev, but the other guy, the little fucking guy, the little guy who makes love to bears. I don't know. He's a little guy who sits naked. The naked guy in the poster, or whatever, the little guy. So the little guy, he said that he saw the Queen shift.
Yeah,
about her. I heard that, and then I also heard someone said that Princess Diana, according to people, said that she saw him or her, the Queen of England, shift into a lizard because of her blood type.
Stating that.
Yeah,
I heard the audio of her talking. She was talking to her assistant, and she was talking about how the royal family do shift, and they're not human.
Yeah, they shift into lizards, and then I guess the Bush cartel, the Bushes also shifted to lizards. Yeah, it's weird, man. It's like they're like the snake in the tree. It's weird.
Think really, like you were saying, that you probably have more claim to the throne than they do.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah, they're just inbred monsters. I think more pure you are, more of a lizard. I don't believe it. I'm just joking.
No, don't go there, because there is humans and there is that, and Rh negative are not that. We are the closest to the way God made us. We are like closest to the purest, and that's why Jesus. He had all of these. Not saying that, putting it like Jesus, but he had all of these abilities and everything like that. Well, that was because he was pure, right? His genetics were totally pure. And if you
Yeah.
go back into the Bible, you will find that like Abraham talked when he was born, and Jesus talked when and not just the Bible, like if you read, because I read other chronicle books, right? So
Absolutely.
there's a lot bigger story. As a matter of fact, if you just go into read the Aramaic translation, the Targum from Babylon, that is the oldest translation that we have, and it fills in a lot more of these stories. They're much more enjoyable, but it talks about those kind of things. Hey,
I love the stories. The other story is, this is a fun story. Again, people, this is mythology, so throw it away. Have some popcorn when you hear this. Don't take it seriously. But on the Talmud, they talked about Lilith. Now, Lilith was the first, according to their story. Now, get that right. That Lilith was the first woman other than Eve. So Lilith was first, and she was made equal and alongside Adam at the same time. Now, God says, go ahead, procreate, have fun. So as the story goes, she refused to lay down and to procreate. She refused to be the one on the bottom. She wanted to go cowgirl. He says, we don't do cowgirl. We do a Christian style. She says, no, I go cowgirl. I'm equal with you. So we do cowgirl. I'm on top. Anyway, that's how it went. That procreation was. So eventually, somehow they had magically figured out a different way. I don't know how that way was. We don't want to go there. This is a family-friendly show. But she got knocked up. She got pregnant. Then after she was pregnant, then she left. She's like, I got what I need from you. I got your seed. And she left. So they had a peer, because he's Rh negative, Adam, obviously, O negative. And she was O negative. So she had a peer blood, and she bails, and she goes off to the forest or whatever. And then he's like, oh, man. So he went ahead and found an Rh positive girl and says, you're next. And then you and you and you and you. So he took Eve. Well, he was made from his rib, whatever, I don't know. And so he had a new wife, Eve, which was supposed to be a negative. Now, this is a story, people. Throw it away. She was a negative or a positive. So he had a baby with the positive. So there's the half negative, the mudbloods. The mudbloods were born going down the line. Then over here, you had the Lilith babies, which are the pure bloods going down their line. So you have the two different lines, the two lines. You had the mudbloods, and then you had the pure bloods. And then you have Hogwarts, and there's a whole story of Hogwarts. Yeah. I'm making layman's terms.
It's a family-friendly way of saying it.
When you said that,
I mean, Hermione, she was an O positive. She had two O positive parents, but they carried the gene for negative. So both father and mother carried the gene for negative, but they were both positives, and she was still a positive, but she still carried the gene for negative, and she was the best witch at Hogwarts.
Yep. I have to get my dogs now, so I'll talk about myself.
She was the best witch at Hogwarts. Now, what was it? Harry? Now he's a full blood. He's a full blood. Yeah. So he's a full one, and he's a shithead. He couldn't do anything hardly without her. I mean, think about it. So positives can be just as powerful as the negatives if they carry the gene. So, Eric, you got the gene?
Well, so are you saying, say you and I both have, I don't know, say we both have the power to make the toilet paper roll off of this itself, so we can use it
magically. We can manifest it.
And I'm all positive, and you're all negative. Basically, would you be saying that because you're Rh negative, you can roll this faster and better powers than I can if I was O positive?
Well, not if we look at Hermione. Hermione's an O positive. She just had a negative gene, and she could do it better than me probably. So Hermione, you could probably do it better than me. You're like Hermione.
There's a lot of really smart, talented. I mean, the whole world is full of smart, positive people, and yes, it's not just her. And also too, like the things that I have, where I can see spirits and stuff like that. Lots of people who are positive have that. It's just Rh negative is common.
We're getting closer to. I always like in the show about 2 hours usually. We're getting closer now. Now, Karen, if somebody's going to your channel, let me go back to your channel here for a second. If somebody's going to your channel for the first time, Would you recommend a certain a video for them to watch first on your channel? By
Good
any chance?
question.
You know, I have such a variety of different things. It's really a lot of it is just me talking, you know, things that I remember through the years about different things that I've looked up. So, I mean, I have such a variety of different topics that I've looked into. It's, you know, it's a lot of it is spiritual because that's really where I came from. It's the, you know, it comes from that, but not really like, you know, I try to encourage people to stay on there, even though I do believe in that stuff. But my information is valid, you know, for anybody. But I go through all of the different topics, as you can see here.
Yeah, you do.
And don't be embarrassed about being spiritual. We're moving in that direction.
No, I see,
moving in the spiritual direction is number one right now. You know, don't be embarrassed. Be proud of what you put in there. Never.
Because this is interesting. Go to the Moon Part 2. So that's totally different than Arch Blood. Is this more of you believe that the whole moon landing was a hoax?
Well, when I went through, yeah, I do. Now after I believe that we have a firmament and we maybe don't know the exact shape of the Earth, but it is nothing like NASA's liars.
Yeah. There you go. I say turtle. That's why you hear me say turtle, because I say the back of the turtle. It makes everybody happy when you say back of the turtle. It's a chaotic, neutral way of saying it. Is it flat? Is it round? I don't know, man. It's a turtle. That's all I got with squares on it. It's a turtle.
And
that's why. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I do have a lot of visions on there because that is one of the things I've been plagued with all of my life is visions. So there are a lot of visions, and there's a number of them that have just recently happened and confirmed. So
very good, very good. I seen someone said left-handed. I was born using my left hand in school. I got my hand whacked.
That was true. He said also my father, myself, and my son are all left-handed. That's 3 generations.
Beat me with a ruler with my left hand. Said no, we write with our right hand. I said that's cool because I'm ambidextrous anyway, so I can write cursive better, and I could write cursive better with my left. I can write regular writing uppercase with my right, so I can do both. I could cursive cursive with the left, and then
we gotta go back. You have to ask her question
with what they, you know, she tied my arm down on my so I couldn't use it.
No, we got to answer her question. She goes, so the final verdict on the Queen, Mom, lizard or just Luciferian? Answer her question.
And not I don't know, but I don't think she's RH negative, but she's a usurper, lizard, Luciferian. Let's put it that way. Let's give them all of it because that's what they are.
I'll vote Luciferian. I'll be on that one. I mean, I don't know what a Lucifer is. I don't know. I mean, I'm pagan, so we don't really have a Lucifer. But I'll tell you what, she ain't good. Let's put it that way. So whatever label you want to give her, I'll just say biatch, and you guys can say Luciferian. There you go. Baby eating biatch. How about that? A Canadian baby eating biatch. An indigenous Canadian baby eating biatch. There you go.
Actually, that would be a video I would recommend, would be the real slave trade that I did. And I talked about what happened here in Canada, what happened to the Irish, long before Ashley did, but
good.
What is it right here? This person wrote, I'm a building residential painter. I have worked at the people's homes who worked with Bill Gates. And their eyes were slits. Without light play in the room. They knew I saw who they were.
Okay, cool with me. I'm not home no more, Toto. Anything's on the table. I'm not from here. I'm from Sagittarius.
Same world like you are. I'm not in the same world since 2015. The world, even my family, like you were saying about the blood and that, but there's been like crazy changes that have happened. And I didn't know what it was for a long time. I thought it was just me not remembering things.
Yeah.
But as the time is, I'm not living in the same world.
No. So when they say that there's a reptile, They say when these guys have slit eyes, I say, okay, I'm taking note of that. I'm not turning the idea down. I think those are reptiles. Okay, I'm not from here. So if you say they're reptiles, they just might be reptiles.
Sliders. That's what happened here. You know, the show Sliders?
Yeah.
It's like split somewhere else. I think all of us who are on this channel, even in the chat, they all feel like that.
Yes.
Like things totally have changed.
I'm putting her YouTube channel in the chat again. So just like what Happy Feet Gal just says, great show, share and sub. So this is her channel. Check it out because she has a lot of different things, and that's what I love. I love channels that have not just one typical main theme, and that's it. I love when you explore everything. It makes it funner, fresher. And people are loving you, Karen. I've seen nothing but great stuff. I mean,
fantastic.
There's a person in here that's probably hated by everybody in the whole world. Even he says that
What's up, Tony?
This woman knows her stuff, and you get that from this person, that means a lot.
That's good. I like that.
What's this? What about the hexagon pupils?
Yeah, there's I tend to think it's the muscles, the new muscles, because we have bones in the back of our skulls now. So we have a whole different set of threads that actually do our eyes. Before we didn't have them because we had a big ass hole in the back of our head. But now we have, there's all bone back behind our eyes. So with the new muscles, it pulls on it. Now this is just me, so I could be wrong, so throw it away. But this is how I'm seen as an anthropologist, as muscles in the eye. In fact, M.A., Mandela Effect, that he calls himself, already did a whole show on that. I'm not taking no credit for this. I'm telling people he did a whole show on the muscles in the back of the eyes, pulling them back. I'm giving credit where it's due, so I'll make sure people know about that. So that's a good one. If you guys want to do any research on that, you're going to have to ask him to see that one. He got his stuff. You're going to have to email him and say, "May I please see the video of the one with the eyes, hexagon eyes?" He's got full information, muscles, names of the muscles, everything. Done, research, lengthy. So there's an answer for you if you want to get that.
Well, if you have that, put it in there. I'd like to watch that.
Yeah, you'll have to ask him. He'll give it to you. You have to ask him. If he knows you're sincere about it, you're not just pulling his, he don't want no fake. He's giving him no emails. That man, he's strict on, he's tired of it. He's fed up with fakes. But you're on this show. He probably watched the show. And he's like, I was on the show. And
maybe I could get, maybe by small chance, I could get a hold of him. And maybe I'll ask his permission if I could play it on here and we could dissect his video with his permission. Maybe I'll
But or you could just ask him and he'll release the video out for everyone to see for a day, maybe, and it's a good video with the muscles and stuff.
Right now in the UK, a lot of the UK YouTubers are putting their videos on private for now because they're looking for people for reasons to shut down their channels and all that. It's a big thing right now in the UK. So a lot of their videos are being put in private because of this.
Yeah, a lot of people are losing their channels right now, too big channels. Yeah. I get away with a lot, but maybe I won't now that more people are seeing me, because when I slip in other people's videos and content, I kind of started off different. So if you're looking at my videos, it will seem unrelated in the beginning, because it's purposely done because they don't take them down. They don't go past the first couple of minutes if they're going to walk most of the time.
That's the way to do it. We do that. Yeah. So we start off with jokes and what's going on and what's the new thing, and then we get into this stuff. You saw that. We do the same thing. Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but it's not as much. If I start off with the topic, I get it every time. But if I
we always try to put the topic a little bit later first, get everybody to come in, so we don't get shut down. Actually, I was going to lead out the topic of a person that I'm going to say a lot of people might not like this woman, but I'm going to give this woman so much credit. This woman's a genius, what she did.
Who's this?
Okay, people are going to freak out on me on this. Taylor Swift is a genius. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
She, out of nowhere, yesterday, less than 24 hours, made a new album. Then they tell nobody and said, "Hey, my new album comes out tonight at midnight." That's a genius move. I give her credit. Listen, right now everybody's 14, everybody has to stay home. There's none of this. Right now, so musicians aren't getting their names out there as much because there's no tours. There's no nothing right now. So how do you get your name? Talk about the marketing. Don't tell nobody you have an album out until the day of. Yesterday, Google search. She had the most Google search in one day than anybody else had in history. She had over 36 million search because all of a sudden in one day, she said, I had a new album. That was a genius move by not telling people and telling people day of where everybody has to stay home. I got to give her credit, man. That's an awesome move.
Yeah.
It cost 36 million searches in 2 hours, less than 2 hours. That's a marketing genius.
Yeah. Not a fan, but I guess there's a couple of songs I could tap my foot to. It's got like a little bit of a beat to it.
Not this album. This album called Folklore. My wife was actually listening to it in the morning. It's more acoustic. It's more mellow, soft, folklore.
I can't dance naked in the shower with it?
No, it's not dance music. This one's actually not dance music.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you don't have to be a fan of her, but the marketing move on that, I got to give that woman credit. She's a marketing genius.
She's a genius. She should come on the show. We should invite her.
I tried.
Yeah.
I invite everybody.
She should come on the show. If Taylor Swift is watching, I'm sure she is. She's a fan, probably. Come on the show. Talk about your album.
Hey, I'm trying to get. I know nobody cares. I know nobody cares. But I'm trying to get Tom Kiefer. To come on this show, right? He's the man who wrote the song Gypsy Road. I want him on the show. I haven't got him yet, but I'm working on it.
Get him on there, man. We're gonna get Taylor Swift and that guy. I don't know who that guy is. He sounds badass though. We'll get him together.
The lead singer of Cinderella. I'm trying to get him on here.
So much fun right now. And this is such a relief. This is what we need right now. You don't have to be, in terror all the time. We can actually have fun, laugh, talk about some silly things,
Yeah, mythology, all that fun stuff.
Hey, listen, you're right. Life is hard right now. There's no question about that. And right now, there's a lot of shows that are hardcore. And sometimes you kind of need that little, we could talk serious, but kind of have fun at the same time where you enjoy each other. So, and I appreciate you wanting to come on. You made a comment one day in the chat about the RH blood. You said you were interested in it. I asked you if you wanted to come on. You said yes. So I appreciate it.
Great job, man, especially with the vitamin D.
Said yes, and I'd love to come on again. I'm just starting coming on other people's shows, and it's a little nerve-wracking, but this was fun. This is
people
great.
always come here first. They come here first because you're comfortable here first. Then you can go on anybody's after ours.
Bob, you're not lying. A lot of people have said, "Hey, Eric, can we go on your show first?" Because they want to get their feet wet, and then they go to other people's shows. I'm like, okay, you're the stepping stone. I guess that's fine.
Yeah, mistakes are number one here. We love them. Eric had his amplifier on, or it don't matter. You could get up and go to the kitchen. The dogs are barking. Go check your dogs. We'll be fine talking amongst ourselves. People are comfortable. Don't act like you got to sit in front of the screen.
Well, I haven't really went live by myself because, you can really mess up by yourself and say dumb things and stuff. But if you have another person bouncing off of you, it's so much more fun, right? And you can get a lot of information out, but you can be serious, but you can still, it can be lighter and so if you mess up, the other person will help you out. That's why I haven't really went live, because a lot of the subjects I talk about are very serious, and I'm so afraid of making a mistake.
Don't.
The Witch Goddess has been on our show like 3-4 times, and the Witch Goddess. She did something genius. Nobody knew what she was doing, right? The Witch Goddess came on. She had a mask on, right? And she was in her house. No, I knew her house. I knew what she was doing because I know what her house looks like because she'd been on before. But people in the chat, and there was people even on the show were kind of freaking out a little bit, like, what's going on? How come this woman's wearing a mask?
I'm going to leave the show.
The whole show, she had the mask on to see how people would react and how they change what they think of you because of it. And she was just faking it on purpose. It was an awesome research. And I love stuff like that because you'd be surprised how many people left the show saying, I can't watch this.
I
But
can't watch the show. We even had another guest on that was going to leave the show. We're like, why? I don't mind her being in a mask. Who gives a shit? Let her keep talking.
It was a cool test. It was a cool theory to see how people react, and I loved it. So I love when people come on when they do stuff like that because
I love it too. We're about experimentation and everything else. You know, we're still scientists at the end of the day, but it doesn't mean that we're not agnostic or we don't have spiritual. There's the hat.
My husband told me to put it on for the show, and I forgot.
That looks nice. We don't have, we don't have a hat rule. It's a myth, but it's nice that you put it on for fun. Yeah, it's just a myth. You got a hat rule? Not really.
I ruined my hair. Like I'm done now. That's it. The show's
I
over.
got all of this. You know, I got all of this here. So
Not this thing.
So
there we go.
just to let people know.
Hair.
Yeah, I shaved my head. I got a queue. I got a long queue in my back.
Well, people know what's going on, and then I'll let everybody have their last saying before we leave. Next week, guys, there's 2 different people that are coming on next week. Next week, the Matrix Unveiled is coming back on. He's an awesome kid, awesome young man. He's got his head straight. Joey Ruckus coming on one of the days. We're working on that right now. Joey Ruckus wants to come on, and then Tuesday our horror talk show. If you like horror movies, I recommend watching it. This Tuesday, the horror talk movie we're going to be talking about is 8-Legged Freaks. So if you like spiders, if you like large spiders, watch the movie. Come on Tuesday. Those shows are only 2 hours. I'm sorry. The horror talk show is only 1 hour. It's just a 1 hour show.
Let me stop you though. For you pagans out there, we're not talking about Odin's horse. We're talking about a spider. Okay, go ahead.
Spider. Yes. Yeah. And then Bob is doing the show tomorrow night, right? On your channel?
Tomorrow night. Mine's different though. I don't talk to the sidebar. I just talk. Yeah. It's different. I get people off drugs. I'm working on people getting off drugs. So, I go into some stuff, but mostly people getting off drugs. So you're going to have a lot of people in my sidebar that are unruly, uncrazy, just kind of a little bit wild. They're detoxing. They're not going to be normal people. So be careful in there. You might I don't like these people, but there's still good people in there. Yeah.
They're great people. And I tell people, when you watch a show, grab a bucket of popcorn, just sit back and watch. Because if you want to get an answer in the chat, you're going to get answers from other people in the chat, not from Bob.
Yeah, me.
And that's it. So beyond that, Karen, you want to say any last things about anything you want before we go?
No, I think we've really talked about everything. It was a great show. I've really enjoyed it, and I love everybody. And I hope you come over to my channel.
Yes, you're 100% correct. I was like, not back in my head, like, can we actually stretch an RH Blood talk for 2 hours? I was easy. Yeah, we can.
Honestly, there probably is another 2 days worth to talk about.
Yeah, she's so 2 days. This we can do it a week straight and still going this up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love having you on, and I'm trying to go back to the old style. I'm trying to find a lot of new guests who never been on, because I always say everybody has a message. Yeah. So I'm trying my best to get new people on, and Karen's always invited. Now, Karen, even if you're not scheduled to be on, if you're in the chat, like on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday show, if you ever want to come on, I put the invite in the chat and have people just jump on.
We have jump on rule. Jump on time.
So like if the Matrix Reveals on, you want to have a comment about what he's saying, you want to jump on, you let me know. I send an invite, you jump on. That's how we work. That's
5 minutes. You want to talk 5 minutes. You don't want to do it in a sidebar. You want to talk to them. 5 minutes. You have a question. You can jump in and jump out. Yeah. Don't matter.
If that person's a weirdo, wouldn't back out.
I was on a show recently. Somebody that had that but didn't know how to kick them out, and they got trolled. And the person was just talking about everything, and I don't know why she didn't just end the show because it got really bad.
Yeah, come on, just with the cat head on. Remember that, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
We had a nice cat head guy. It was cool. Didn't say anything mean. Just cat head.
He didn't say nothing at all. He just stared at everybody with the cat helmet.
Yeah, asked him questions about his cat head and how is he getting along with his cat head. I mean, is he having problems in the stores? What kind of, is he like gibbles, nibbles? What kind of fish? What does he eat? Stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, beyond
Cat
that,
head.
I'm gonna let everybody go. Thank you, Karen, for jumping on, and everybody have a nice day.
Yeah.